George and I have been chatting about some really important fundamental economic issues, not the least of which is that our stock of resources, our productive resources, at any one point in time are fixed, finite, limited in amount. So land, labour, capital, technology, entrepreneurial ability, we've only got so much. We need to make some decisions about what we do with our resources, what to produce, how much to produce, for whom to produce. So we need a system to solve some of those basic fundamental problems. What I want to do here is to introduce you to a little model, a little visual tool that we employ in economics. And this one's called our Production Possibility Frontier. Now, we're going to make a couple of simplifying assumptions. We're talking about a business enterprise that's got, as we've just said, a fixed stock of land, labour, capital, technology and entrepreneurship, etc., etc. We're also going to consider a simple little enterprise, e.g. a farm, and the farmer has got a simple decision to make whether they produce either wheat or wool. So two commodities only we're going to consider, and we're going to further assume that we are utilising all of our productive resources to their optimum. So we're being as productively efficient as we possibly can be. So here's the issue. Let's say the farmer decides to allocate all of their resources to the production of, say, just wheat. And let's say that in doing so they're able to produce, say, 100,000 tonnes of wheat, in which case, of course, there's no resources left over to produce any wool whatsoever. At the other extreme, of course, the farmer could allocate his or her resources to producing nothing but wool. And similarly, let's say 100,000 bales of wool could be produced, and of course, therefore, no wheat whatsoever. Now, in between the two extremes are a host of what we call alternative production possibilities. Now, we call this little model our PPF, and the letter F stands for frontier, a point that you can reach but not go beyond. Why is that useful? Because it reminds us constantly that our resources are fixed and we are limited in terms of our productive capabilities. So what we can do here is to transfer our data onto a relatively simple little model. Let's put wool on the horizontal, let's put wheat on the vertical axis, and as we've said, these are our parameters, either 100 units of wheat or 100 units of wool, or in between, perhaps 70-30, 20-80, 50-50 for example. But the bottom line is that between the two extremes there is a line or a curve that we call a frontier. It depicts the limits to production. So let's say we were operating down here at point F initially. So we were allocating all of our resources to production of wool. And let's say we decided to move to, say, point E. We wanted to expand our level of production of, say, wheat from 0 to, say, 30 units. Now, what we can see straight away is that in order to increase our production of wheat, we need to curtail our production of wool. Now, this is where this model is particularly useful. What this tells us straight away is that in order to increase the production of one thing, we by necessity have to give up or sacrifice the opportunity of producing the other product as well. And this is what we call opportunity cost. It's the cost or the price we pay, if you like, in terms of expanding our production of one item at the expense of another. So the key word here, in fact, is sacrifice. It's what we're giving up, what we have chosen to forego in the way of potential production. And look, we can do this anywhere along here, and any time you transfer resources away from one alternative to another, that will by necessity occur. Now, what we've used here so far is a set of data which indicates that the opportunity cost of transferring resources out of wheat and into wool or vice versa in fact yields us a constant return. So our straight line PPF indicates that opportunity cost is constant. Now what this is actually inferring, in fact, is that our stock of resources, land, labour, capital, are in fact perfectly transferable between these two alternatives. In reality, that's not necessarily the case, and we need to look at that next time.